Teruvan Saranai, dear friends of Dhamma, welcome to our English Zoom discussion. First, we would like to pray our Buddha Father, spiritual Dhamma guidance teacher, and we also like to thank you all for attending this Dhamma Zoom talk. Okay, Buddha explain about Dhamma till joint us. Explaining the moment of awakening. Buddha is different from person to person according to their views. If one considers I am seeing in doing, listening, etc., he takes his would all scenario in a narrow line. It is not the way the Buddha explained the Dhamma of dependent origination, but some father. This occurs with the realization of the person who is having the proper understanding of the philosophy of Dhamma and the right view based on the understanding of their own levels. Their realization is very hard task. The Buddha said that it was easy to break into 100 pieces of the hair of a horse. But it's very difficult to understand this. This realization is not an easy task. On the surface, it looks simply. We do have a story of self-view, Atma-ditti. We used to see everything thought in view of self. There's no one is doing it. There's no one who is seeing. There's no one is feeling. There's no nothing happen as such. They are only natures. There is only nature that exists. To view this, there should be a very keen and sharp focus. This cannot be seen with the views of self, Atma-ditti. To your disadvantage, we cannot go out from the illusion of consciousness. Therefore, we try to understand everything through the illusion of consciousness. This is our helplessness. The Dhamma beyond the illusion is consciousness, where consciousness is not pairing anidassana. It can only be recognized wisdom, jnana. Wisdom and consciousness are two different sensory canaries. We emphasize frequently wisdom jnana was not consciousness jnana. That is why the Buddha told jnanasa adhigamaya, not the vijnanasa adhigamaya. We can understand clearly that all this depends on the wisdom acquired from listening to the noble friend Kalyana and reading Suttame Jnane. Why are this called wisdom jnana? This is very delicate matter. The Buddha could have told some more wisdom jnana is only a word. No, we have told consciousness vijnana. It's also a word. It is not tied anywhere. This consciousness with the eye. And those are the just feelings which we experience through those faculties. This do not really exist, just puts them in place to ourselves. Why we call jnana after everything when we talk about different kinds of wisdom? For example, wisdom of arising and passing away. Dravya jnana and acquiring wisdom through listening and reading. Suttame jnana, it is the book. It is called knowing specially. This is completely against Dhamma. It is hard to write in word. For an example, nobody can explain the writing to taste of salt. That is why we tell you that this wisdom has to be realized. Actually, wisdom is awareness. After we see an object, we have an awareness that we saw it. It is called Sutamenyana. When we listen to something, we know that is the truth. Then we try to understand what we thought we correct by this listen and treat the knowledges as wisdom. But what we thought is not wisdom. The Sutamenyana is acquiring knowledge is listening. Then there is a sense of feeling. There are two words called Janato, Pasato, Novin, and certainly. Then a Decker. These two words take you to the old journey. We sharpen a knife by scrubbing both sides in a stone. The sharpness is not related to be act on scrubbing the sides, but the sharpness is the realization. It is wisdom. Wisdom is not the knowledge. One forget. One forgot what he read or listened. He doesn't remember that sutta, but he knows the higher. It is something like this knife cuts when it has sharpened, but the one who sharpened the knife cuts in sharpened, but the one sharpened the knife doesn't remember which side it was scrubbed. Most of the people say Arinahans. We cannot remember the sutta, but we do not have attachment or aversion with anything. Elimagetima. We feel that there is a reduction of defilements. That means it was quashed the wisdom. Can anybody tell that he does not reach the realization? It cannot be explained what what it is. If someone asks, in every direction illusion has been coming to the Dhamma. There are wrong views. This is the set of views. Therefore, we have a journey to go carefully. To go very carefully. We cannot believe anything. We cannot just anything. Even cannot follow on individuals. It is not possible to do so. The Buddha has refused those following to the Buddha. Asked Bhiksu, Vakkali, that are you doing be looking at this decaying body? Don't attract to the form. What is the message the Buddha was giving over there to the Dhamma? Not anything else. Freedom from the samsara is our progress. It is freedom from thoughts. Very moment it has to be felt that we are free from the mind. Then, I like our friends of Dhamma. We always try to practice it in our Dhamma in our day-to-day life. Sometimes we want to explain some Dhamma errors. Also, our Buddha, the spiritual Dhamma guidance teacher, ready to explain to our correct path and real answers and solutions. So, in our friends, yeah, with a moment or listen to Dhamma talk, it join our Buddha Padarana Hanse. Teruvan Saran everyone. Teruvan Saran.
Teruvan Saranai Aryan Mahansa. May I pay homage at your feet? Teruvan Saranai Meherin Mahansa. Teruvan Saranai everyone. The way to get rid of grief, the way to get rid of mind, is the path to Nibbana. There is nothing as mind. You have to understand the truth of the mind. Mind is impermanent. Dhamma is not something in a book. Dhamma is to get rid of the mind. Dhamma means nothing exists. How a natural mind becomes Aryan. Aryan land is the place where the mind is liberated. If you see the mind, you too can attain Nibbana. You will attain Nibbana in this very life. So you have to walk in the right direction and should establish mindfulness. Shouldn't fill your mind with empty, wrong ideas. Today, Buddhists are lost, trapped in an illusion. It is difficult for them to come to samadhi or the right vision. Today, our society is lost in a visual desert. Everyone is helpless. But do you know who sees truth has no death? Death is really a thought. Should anyone be afraid of a thought? Thoughts appear and disappear every moment without a trace. It's an instant death. Every moment a new mind is born. This is samsara. At every moment the mind is born and a mind dies. Chitte niyati loko means the whole world is in our thoughts. But we think it's external. Mostly we live in past thoughts. There is actually no person, no soul, no doer. Do you actually believe in this world of illusion? Do you believe in this lie? Although we are Buddhists by name, we are not Buddhist unless we know the truth. The doctrine of this Dhamma is very rare. How do you know what happens after death? If you don't know the truth, you are blind. Do you want to die like that without knowing the truth? The body we are carrying will fall to the ground at any moment. Dhamma and yourself cannot be two. Everything you see is Dhamma. Dhamma should be preached with direct experience. Once Lord Buddha asked the monks, "Do you preach Dhamma because I told you so?" The monks answered, "No, Bhante. We preach it with our own experiences." So Lord Buddha said, "Sadhu, sadhu. It should be like that." Dhamma is not in a book. Dhamma should be seen in one's own mind. Unless one sees Dhamma in his own mind, he is not in the path to Nibbana. Many people today study books, but Dhamma can never be written in a book. Dhamma is not something which is in a book. You must understand it in your own mind. There's only the message in the book. You get the knowledge from the book, but be practical in Dhamma. You can't find Nibbana in a book. You can get the address from the book, but you have to walk along the path alone. If someone says that the book is Buddhism, it's a delusion. Practical Dhamma cannot be written in a book. The absolute truth is difficult to hear in this time. No one believes that Nibbana can be achieved today. But you too can attain Nibbana, not after death, but in this very life, in this very moment. you will be free from suffering. The absolute truth which was buried in the sands of time. Maybe you don't believe this story, but the truth cannot be hidden. Someday you will understand this. This is a doctrine you have never heard of. Everyone born in this time is very fortunate because it is Buddhotpada time. Only by understanding Buddhist philosophy you could get rid of Mithya or false views. If not, you will inherit only sorrow. You have to understand that the outside world is not true. It's an illusion. It's a mirage. That world is not real. As long as the world is real, you will inherit only sorrow. It's the time to get rid of these misconceptions and false views. You too can get rid of the grief. The only refuge in the mind is to get rid of suffering. Buddha said, Nakti me sarana anya, Buddho me saranam vara. Take refuge in the Dhamma, true Dhamma. Dhamma is taking refuge in path to Nibbana. Now it's the time to open your eyes. The Buddha Shasana has fallen into a childish possession of worshipping. So let's get rid of the mundane world. We have to understand the true Dhamma. That is, the outside world is not true. It's an illusion, a creation of your own mind. Did you know that our world is magic or illusion or Maya? And our job in this world to find the magician behind the magic. If we don't understand the magic, we will take it as reality. Today, the whole world has got caught to this magician. But if you go behind and see what the magician is doing, or if you at least listen and contemplate to what the spiritual guidance teacher is trying to convey to us, don't get caught and cheated to this magician. Still, are you listening to it? So, the only way to catch this magician is to understand the dependent origination Dhamma, which Lord Buddha has revealed to the world, and it was under the sands of time. So, if you see how your mind is created, and once you catch the magician behind it, the so called vijnana, magic won't be magic anymore. It's not easy to do this. It could be only be done by people with great wisdom, not great knowledge. So our spiritual guidance teacher, Buddhotpada Aryan Mahanse, who lived in forest monasteries in Sri Lanka for a long time, searching for this pure truth. Actually, one has to achieve great wisdom or jnana. One has to do a lot of sacrifices going through this Dhamma path, especially the practical path to Nibbana. We too were listening to many Dhamma sermons, doing rituals, going to temples, worshipping, praying, doing various kinds of puja, meritorious deeds for several years. I think who are listening to Dhamma have gone through the same rituals. But I ask you one thing. Did you ever find solace, end of suffering, end of dukkha, end of samsara? Yes, you might say you found, but it is temporary relief. But once again, you are back to suffering, isn't it? So, Buddhotpada time is very rare, and to find a proper spiritual guidance teacher is also very, very rare. So now Buddhotpada Aryan Mahansa, our spiritual guidance teacher, is revealing what Lord Buddha has preached to the world so many years ago with his own super wisdom, and he is showing the practical path to Nibbana through insight meditation or Vidarshana meditation. Now we have to talk a bit about Vidarshana meditation too, because all these years what came up was concentration meditation or Samatha Bhavana. There are various ways to practice concentration meditation, and everybody thought it is the way to Nibbana. Why do you think Siddhartha Tapasa left the five hermits? Because Siddhartha Tapasa knew it is not the path to Nibbana. Buddha's philosophy is in Tripitaka, but by reading it you get merely a knowledge. And knowledge is the mind or thoughts. As Buddhotpada Aryan Mahansa, our spiritual guidance teacher, always explains to us that you can't attain Nibbana through knowledge or with thoughts. So for many decades we thought that we cannot attain Nibbana in this time. That's how we were taught. We have to complete 10 perfections or Dasa Paramita before everything and complete meritorious deeds. That's how we were taught. Actually, now we understand that it is not so. After listening to Buddhotpada's sermons, we came to know that we can achieve Nibbana at this time, at this moment. And there are no reasons to fall back into the samsara. Now, the great light of wisdom, like the brilliant rays of sun, coming in all directions. If you really, truly want to endure suffering or endure samsara, Buddhotpada's sermons will guide you and show you the path to Nibbana. It's the practical path to Nibbana. When you know the real path, the story of heavens, Brahmaloka, or actually the 31 planes of existence will be a mere sankara or a thought. It's like you are closing your eyes with your own hands. The true Dhamma has awakened. So open your eyes, listen carefully. This is your own story. This is your story of freeing from suffering, freeing from samsara, ignorance, mundane world. There is nothing called permanent. So come to the Arya Bhumi, where even we don't find death, where you will find everlasting peace, eternal peace. This supreme Dhamma is not easy at all to explain. This is not a knowledge. This is super wisdom or jnana. It is like the taste of salt, which cannot be written in a book. That's why it's called Sandhitika Akalika Ehipasika Pachupanna Dhamma. In the mundane world, everyone bound in wrong views and concepts. As long as the external world is true, you are in total delusion. You are bound to suffer. What you have to understand is there is no doer. It's a five sense creation. Actually, we don't say that outside world is existing. We don't say that outside world does not exist. If we take like that, it will be two extremes created. Lord Buddha said, Majja Jnana. So there can't be any extremes or anta. What we say is that the world is created only in this moment. Chitte niyati loko, salayatana loko loko. It creates this moment and disappears. But due to our ignorance, we take the thoughts are for real. And then happens all the jealousy, anger, hatred, greed, and so on and so on. That's how your samsara circle is created. As our spiritual guidance teacher points out, we don't we don't experience the outside world in any way. What we see is the only our own creation, or vijnana maya, or the illusion. Even if you see a new planet in another galaxy through a telescope, again, what you see is your own vijnana maya. Try to understand this, contemplate on this. So, the senses also differ. Humans have their own sensor system. Likewise, animals have their own sensor creations. So they see different dimensions. For example, cow sees only red color. The bee sees the world in another different shape. The worm only has the skin feeling. The cats have night vision. Dogs can hear far better than humans. Even a small ant has his own world, isn't it? All different dimensions. Animals, like human beings, build houses, have families, have their own children, and so on. So, some animals, like insects, cockroaches, have feelers. Bats have some radar system, and so on. They are in their own worlds. Take the weaver bird, who has taught him to weave the beautiful nest. It's the feeling. Nobody taught him. See how the termites build their castle. Nobody taught them. Isn't it funny that the humans think they know everything? We can learn a lot from animals as well. As humans, they love their children. They protect their families. They like to live in peace, isn't it? They also have feelings. When you come to know this true Dhamma, you see everything as oneness. The path is very pleasant. You don't harm anyone, even with the word, even with the thought, because you have the universal kindness and love. So, how beautiful is this Dhamma? Lord Buddha has shown the world about this universal kindness and love in examples like Nalagiri Damana, Alavaka Damana, and even to Angulimal, Patachara, Kisa Gotami, Sunita, Sopaka. What this world needs is not mere technical knowledge, but love, humanity, freedom, kindness, and compassion, isn't it? Can you see what happened to the world because of these defilements? There is hatred, jealousy, greed, because of that wars between countries. For what? Just because of the thought and because they think the outside world is true. Actually, if people worldwide listen to Buddhotpada's sermons and understand that there are only thoughts and there's nothing outside to fight for or to suffer for, there's no one to kill outside. Imagine how beautiful that would be. That's what our spiritual guidance teacher, Buddhotpada Arana, always explains to us. Actually, there is no doer, no soul, only a sensor system is working. It's a process. The listeners of Buddhotpada's sermons knows this truth. So they understand that it's only a system working and their defilements starts to fade and they feel peaceful and calm. In the mundane world, there is always fire. Now we feel that the fire is slowly diminishing. It does not happen overnight. It takes time, but it will happen gradually and steadily. So, what you have to contemplate specifically when in the Nibbana path is how this so called soul is made. How is this existence feeling came? We have already talked about this several times, but this is the main point or the key point we have to understand. And our spiritual guidance teacher always express this point. How do we get the alive feeling? Now we know that our six senses make the world. Salayatana, loko. Whatever the aramuna or the thought comes to one of the senses, it generates power. And all the other senses get together and create the mind consciousness. The vibrations, the sparks, or the waves happens very fast, and the illusionary chair, tree, mother, father, everything is created. But it's a illusion. Likewise, we get the feeling of existence or the feeling of me due to the speedy vibrations. It is actually an illusion or a chittarupe or a mind creation which happen naturally. But we think it's real and either we get attached or disattached to that mind creation. This happens due to our ignorance because as a Buddhist, we don't know about Paticca Sampanna Dhamma or Hetupala Dhamma, how the mind is created, and we take the outside world as true. If someone sees this as a natural phenomenon, no doer, nothing exists, and it's a creation of senses happening automatically. No one is doing this. He is out of ignorance. He has wisdom and will have a calm and peaceful mind because there are no defilements. If you don't know how this power is generated, his defilements are more. He will do anything to get what he wanted. He is always burning with inside fire. You must have seen people like that around. They are always angry of something or someone, always find faults with someone. They are restless, always want to do something, find fault with others. They don't like to share things with others. They don't talk kind words. Their actions, words, and thoughts show that they are burning inside. If they stop for a moment and think, this is my mind, why should I do this? Nobody is doing this. This is only my thoughts. Then the whole world will be peaceful. So, if someone knows this Dhamma, doesn't matter about the religion, but if someone knows how the thought is made and how we suffer due to a thought, their lives will be more peaceful, isn't it? If you go back to the radiant mind of the baby, it is so pure. Though the five senses are working, the mind sensor is still not created. The mind power is still not generated. The mind power is just like magnetic power, electric power. It gives us the lively feeling. So more the stimulus we get, the senses, more the mind power. So some people tend to kill each other due to this mind power. So as we said, everything exists at this moment in the mind of this moment. It is called Dashana Sampatti. So investigate and contemplate this carefully. The state of thinking and the state of feeling are two different kinds. Therefore, you need to be very careful. At the moment, you get a thought relating to the past. And to trace this thought, there should be an awareness. When past thoughts emerge, you should have the awareness to recognize them as that garbage from the past. Actually, it is a telepathy system that works. The feeling of self comes into effect due to the past perceptions. Within, within this charge in the mind, chitta aropana, these past perceptions are also a reason to feel the sense of self. This is like a current, like a magnetic force, or like electricity, where a charge of mind that has emerged. The reason for this is the repeated flow of thoughts, or the abhisankarana. It has the nature of re-emerging. Sense of feeling is there. The feeling of self that there is a world gets diluted is the sign of diminishing the desire, aversion, and delusion. So the mind is entirely perception. There is no existing thing as a mind. It is an appearance which arises and passes away. The objects and forms are a nature of appearances and disappearances. These mind objects, or Araman, and forms are perceptions that flow through like a river. The flowing of these perceptions is due to the speed. The speed has been created by the addition of light, color, and sound. It is called the contact of five senses, or passo. This process is continuously taking place due to the speed of flowing. Nothing is here existing, even for a moment, there's nothing. These are mere appearances within the speed. These are called appearances arising due to a cause. Here, cause are sound, color, heat, cold. The result is the illuminating of five faculties, or ayatana. Then these faculties have their own activities. Now, you can understand well. That is why we use simple language. You will experience this as nature. When the dilution within nature is taking place, it cannot be felt that there is a person or self. When someone contemplates on this, he will feel that there is no real value in this world. With this, there is a feeling emerges that he has got relieved from the world. It is not that just watching the thoughts. There is an awareness of the state of feeling. That awareness is the correct awareness, Samma Sati. Beyond that point, only there is the correct vision, Samma Ditti. One who has the correct vision will get the correct thoughts, correct speech, correct actions, correct livelihood, correct effort, correct mindfulness, and correct concentration. This is Noble Eightfold Path. This will not be met by the one who lives in the material world or the mundane world. If he says that this world is unreal, Then he will meet the Noble Eightfold Path. So, Vinaya Loke Abhijnadoma Nasanan Kaye Kayanupasi Viharati. The one who will meet the Noble Eightfold Path meets these four foundations of mindfulness or Satara Satipatthana. The meeting Noble Eightfold Path is the meeting of the four foundations of mindfulness or Satara Satipatthana. Then he knows that this world is not true. To see this, he practices the contemplation of the body or Kayanupassana, the Indriya Bhavana, Dhatu Manasikara, Anapanasati Bhavana, or Navasivataka are a few of them. When like this, divide the body into different ways and thoroughly investigate to see whether there is a self anywhere in the body. Then he sees that there is no place where the self is. This means he realizes that there is no real world and there is no self. Actually, there is nothing about Sattva or person. Investigating this Dhamma in this manner leads to getting rid of the wrong view of there is a Sattva and a person. Sattva Pudgala Bhave. When you look out and if you feel that there is a thing, then there is also the feeling of self coming into force. If it is taken as a book, table, or bed, then there is I or self. So, what you have to do is to see the truth in one thought, only one thought. When an object arises and is taken as a book, means that it has already become a thing. Then the self is also there with the thing. If there is a thing there, there is a I here. Here I am is the book. I am is the book. The book is I am. The book is there, meaning I am there. However, when we practice this practically, the chair, the table, and the book are all we see as usual. Nothing is lost. Can be seen everything as usual. Not blind. Can be heard in all sounds. Not deaf. But it is coming to the point of seen as mere seen. Ditte, ditte mattan. Though it is seen as before, there is a state of which that not belong to anybody. No any value like before. It is a feeling of emptiness. Being in that state is awakening to the moment. Becoming in that state depends on the dilution of desire, aversion, and delusion. Until such time, the state will emerge slowly. This awakened state comes into prominence as per the progress of individuals. It depends on the level of diluted taints and defilements. Accordingly, one reaches the state of noble Arya Pudgala. These are the ones who realize the stream within, or Sotapan. Now you know where to go. The path and the address you know. Walk on the path carefully. This sermon is enough listening to this again and again until you get the clear path. Why this Dhamma is akaliko? This Dhamma is timeless. That means akaliko. This Dhamma is to see this moment. It is called momentary sampatti or shana sampatti. Seeing this moment is the scene of nirvana. For that, it is necessary to see the Dhamma, which is the scene of nothingness. So this means there is nothing as much as such a mother here, instead seen as colors and sounds. Then there is no self in the colors and sounds. Seeing the Dhamma is seeing this truth. It is the Sat Dhamma or Satya Dhamma or true Dhamma. The realization of Dhamma is the realization of nature. That is why it is called Durlabam Sat Dhamma. Savana Durlabam Shana Sampatti. It is seen in the way the mind is forming at the moment. Only this moment is existing. In every moment, there is a mind arises and passes away. Until there is breathing exists, the mind arises and passes away. The sparks and charges of the mind are taking place. These sparks occur in the five senses. The aggregation of sparks of the five senses is the mind. In other words, the addition of sounds and forms is the mind. Other than that, there is nothing as a mind anywhere. Actually, this mind is not the brain. The getting together of sounds and colors is called the mind. Nothing else. This means the knowledge of feelings, perceptions, formations, and consciousness is the mind. This knowingness comes from the mind's consciousness or mano vijnana. There is nothing like mind consciousness. The sparks coming from the five senses sound, color, smell, taste, and touch. Due to the illumination or prasada of them and added together is the mind consciousness. This happening is a system and it is nature. The feeling that there is a thing outside and getting deceived by it is the origin, samudaya. If so, likes and dislikes arise. Then we get the current of milliwatt 5. It is the feeling. We call it charge of the mind or chitta aropane. It is something like a magnetic charge. Yarupe Nandi is being attached to it. Tadupadanam Bavu. If so, the existence or Bhavaya is a result. The book is here, the world is there. Then the world has been created. Salayatana Loko Loko. The world has been created by the faculties or ayatana. The Buddhist is one who sees the cessation of existence and he sees there is nothing outside. Then he is getting liberated from suffering and leading to nirvana. If there is a thing outside, then there is a desire or aversion. Become attached, followed by clinging. Then existence or bhavaya is followed by birth, decay, death, sorrow, lamentation, suffering, and sadness. Having suffering, if someone sees that there is nothing outside and with the vision, he will get freedom from suffering. For this, he has to listen to Dhamma and get to know the wisdom of truth. Oh, Satyajnana. The one who has the wisdom of truth, the wisdom of action for him, what is this? Truth. It is the message from the noble friend, our Kalyana Mitra, Buddhotpado Aryan Hansa. Once this Dhamma is heard, it starts to feel him every moment that there is no world outside, there is no self or Atma, non-soul. And these all are sounds and colors. Though the mind says thirsty, it cannot drink water. So the mind says hungry, cannot eat. Look, putting into the mouth, going to the stomach and going out. We say I drank water, I ate rice. Never, this mind has never drank or eaten. In other words, the mind is the I. The mind cannot drink water. What happens here is only a process. At the time that the infant was born, he does not know about yellow, red, blue, or anything. He comes to know about these colors when he starts preschool at the age of 4. Until then, this child does not know the colors. This means the teacher is showing colors and making sounds while trying to relate to each other. For example, after drawing a picture A on the blackboard and showing it to the child while making the sound A. If you say A to an English national in Sinhala, he doesn't know it. Even this is the same for Chinese national because he does not have a picture or form for that sound. Likewise, the picture or the form gets added to the sound is called the mind or the chitta. The thought that everything is there that we came to know due to the above process is the reason for such deception for a long time, or the anusotya. Within this, we had a burning, we went through lots of suffering. We saw externally that everything exists. The mango tree does not say that it is a mango tree. We say it is a mango tree. If some other national comes, he does not call it the mango tree. He uses a word that he knows from, from his own language. So this example shows us that there is no external things as we think. Here we associate with only our thoughts. We never have gone out from the thoughts. The mind is a wave or a taranga, which is the combination of a wave of sound and a wave of color. In other words, it's a frequency system. In this wave of the mind, there is nothing as thing. There is nothing about the self. If this is realized, then it comes to ditte ditta mattang, sute sutta mattang, mute muta mattang, vinyate vinyata mattang. There is nothing to be seen. Nobody is seen. Then the scene is only a scene, nothing else. If the sound is added, then there is a thing. Now, what do you have in front of you? Say we have a table. So, a wall, a bed, or chair. Now, without those sounds, look at them. If those sounds are erased, what would happen? They become just merely pictures. When the sounds are added, then there are things. If sounds are not added, it is just a scene. There may be enough colors and many forms, but to become something, it has to have a sound. If there is no sound, then there is nothing. Then we see the sound is not true. If one sees the truth, he feels no value in them. He knows the reality that the thing is only an addition of sound and color. Therefore, he doesn't have any value in it. If it is taken as a thing, then suffering is inevitable. Now you need to listen to these sermons one by one very carefully. Actually, all are vibrations and free vibrations. That means kampana and pratikampana. This has been formed like this. The rotating speed of the earth creates a magnetic power. It means as the earth has been rotating around itself at a speed of 180 kilometers in an hour. It creates magnetic power, resulting in emerging energy force between the North Pole and the South Pole. This process leads to the formation of the ozone layer, and within it, the layer of air. In the beginning, the Earth was a huge cloud of particles or dark matter. Over time, with the vibrations and revibrations and continuous rotations, these clouds of particles turned into dust. At present, the planet Jupiter, or Brahaspati, is still a rotating huge cloud of dust. As such, those clouds of dust vibrating and rotating together, and with the effect of heat and cold generated from the layers of ozone and air, started slowly getting thicker, forming the Earth's surface. Then the water and life on Earth all were the making of this process. Though the Earth and its surroundings were products of the dark matter in the universe, the nature of the Earth is different. All these are natural phenomena. The nature of consciousness or vijnana also showing us everything there constantly. Therefore, when we see outside, we can see everything outside. Though we see everything outside in the real sense, we see our own minds. Even though we see the tables, chairs, beds, trees, whatever, it is the mind. But there is a nature of feeling which is relevant to everything, still not belonging to anything. This state of feeling is the awakening to the moment. This is what we are talking about. This state is like awakening from a dream. The clouds pass through, and in the same way, thoughts also passes through. There is no single moment without a thought. It is a non-stop process because until the inhale and exhale continues, the mind also arises and passes away. Though the clouds continuously pass in the sky is beyond the clouds. Likewise, the awakening state is beyond the thoughts, though the thoughts are continuously passed through. This state of awakening cannot be taken by thinking. It can be experienced only if you get into that state. It is something like one gets the experience of the taste of salt. He can feel the taste of salt, but it is unlikely to explain to another the feel and feel the same experience. Within this state of awareness, realization will emerge. This cannot be taken merely by thinking. If it is a thought, then it would be an illusion of consciousness or vijnana. Becoming in the state of awakening is the result of a practical process. This is the product of realization of the Dhamma, which can be achieved through wisdom. To achieve this state, there should be a great wisdom. This process is not simple like doing samatha meditation, focusing on a single object. We also did this samatha meditation for some time, but ended nowhere. After all, we realized that it was not the correct way to find the truth and started practicing vidarsana or insight meditation. Today, we can see that there are some efforts among the people to find out the true path, to prevent from suiciding, stealing, murdering, and hating, a child to be born tomorrow and turn towards great kindness. It is the need to express true Dhamma. Now you have a work to do. If you see the mind, it comes one after another continuously. This happens within a certain speed. You can find this explained by the Buddha in Kajaniya Sutra. Also, there are a lot of sutras which explains this. The Buddha has said, Rupantiko also Rupam Vaditi. It means the form or Rupa is being formed due to the collision, the spark or light flashes of five senses, due to a very sparking speed. This sparks happens in the five senses and it creates a feeling that there is something. The world is appearing when the eyes open and the same time disappearing when the eyes close. This reveals that there is no existing world. This is a feeling of self within within the speed of sparks in the senses. We are trapped within these friction flashes. Oh, are open. It's just like we are trapped in the magnetic force of the globe. Magnetic power is created due to the rotating speed of the earth. The thrown stone comes back to the ground due to this magnetic force. The earth with the ozone layer and air cover has been created due to the circulating speed and as a result, it generated magnetic force. The moment this speed stops, everything scatters all over the universe. Likewise, with the inhale and exhale, and also the rotating speed of the globe, there are continuous sparks within the senses. The day inhalation and exhalation stops, the speed is also going to be stopped while throwing out to the space. The mind and the mind made self going to be seized at that time. So I think it's enough for today. Buddhotpadaran Mahansa, Thiruvan Saranai. Do you want to add something? Thiruvan Saranai.
Thiruvan Saranai, Arana, sir.
Yes, I think it's good explanations. But I won't practical side. But yes, explaining is very good. But people won't experience. They won't experience. They won't practical. They won't be practical. Not a thinking, not a knowledge. I like to say the whole everybody you listen this time first what we are saying, but after you realize what is our life, what's happened here, why I was sometimes suffering, why I was sadness, why I thinking about the death. Actually, what happened? Most people talking about after the death, they are going somewhere. They are thinking they are going heaven, no heaven. That's what you think. Ask yourself, your mind, what's the happen? It's true. It's happening. What is Buddha explaining? Buddha explained this mind is process, it's a system. What is dependent origination? Dhamma, Buddha explain whole world. It's our mind creation. We are thinking. Everything is sound and forms together. That's thoughts. These are thoughts. You are in thinking world. You are in mindful world. It is not real, but you have existent feel. You have a life feel. Yes, but you can't see this your eyes, but you can see this your inside wisdom. Nobody is here. No one is. It's your mind. Mind consciousness is the word. Is creating the world. You're talking about chair, table, mother, father, but Sinhalese are talking amma, tata, givalda. What is the sounds? Chinese are talking chan, chin, chu. What is the sounds? Sound is, yes, sound is the word. What? Yeah, sounds became your mind to picture. That's the word. Sound and firms together. That's the important, that sound and firms. The mainly sound and firms are coming together. That's but inside their field, skin, sensor, and your taste and your smell, 10 senses. Your nose, your mouth, and your skin, these are senses together. That's Buddha's word is the field sensor. The field sensor, and your eye, you can see that's a firm, that's a sound is your ear. These are together coming. That's the kindergarten time. Little child is first time. No, this chair, table, red, yellow, blue colors also the thoughts. These thoughts are creating. That's the Pubbe Nivasa Jnana is the Buddha's word is this present moment is only the you are living is thoughts. But this creation is look at this creation, past and future. What is this past and future? Is future not coming, but present moment is you are thinking the future is the present moment only the thought you are thinking. It's not happening. Otherwise, is the past is gone. It's not coming. But you are thinking. It's present moment only the thought. Now it's okay. Past and future is you know this present moment only the thought. But this present moment thought is not real. It's otherwise sound and forms. This is the case. This thought is existent every time these thoughts are created. Every time one thought is coming. That's the stream of that. But it is not real. It's illusion. Sound also vibrations is a we are talking about quantum theory like that. Vibrations, waves. Says, that's the colors also, lights also, waves. Red, yellow, blue. These colors are waves. These sounds are waves. These colors and sounds together, wave is coming, existent chair, table. Chair is a chair have sound, chair have color. Chair have otherwise rough and smooth. That's your touching sensor. These senses are creating this existent world is thinking world is coming. That's a thoughtful world. Is mind world is creating. That's not real. It's not real. It's illusion. This is the we are talking about dependent origination is avidya pacha sankara. Avidya is existent feel is not real. Is sankara is creating this censoring. This creation is made in this illusion, misconceptions, like a mirror. You can see your face is mirror, but mirror have something? No, like this. So you know this Dhamma, the value is not coming. The existent field is the value. Every thoughts have value because existent field there. That is the value. Value is not something you thinking. These are permanent. That's the value is coming. But you know, you understood after these thoughts are not real. Solution value is gone. It's little bit happening. Value is fading. That's the defilements are fading. That's the attach and disattach. Attach, ill will. That is this words. Ragakyo, desakyo, mohakyo, nibbano. Attach and ill will, and that's the illusions are fading because attach and disattach is value. Your thoughts haven't a value, it's not existent. You know it's not exist, it's not real, so value is God. That's the defilements are fading. That's finally your suffering is gone. Fading. Sadness is gone. Because you know the truth is no one is here, nobody is here. It's a system like a robot, this creation, this body. The body is creation, the senses are creation. That's the body. How is body is creating this body wants energy. That's is your energy is how is coming. The senses are creation. That's the your neurons are your body. It's like a wiring. Yeah, that's a system. It's energy, power. It's sensory. It's happening. That's the power. Your body wants this power. The movements won't be happen. Power won't somewhere coming. But it's not somebody is doing. It's automatically natural phenomenon is here. Automatically is happening. That's the alive field. That's the living field. That's the being. But this one understood. Someone know this. No living being, no being, no living being, nothing exists. Nisato injures. But everything is normally happening. Normally you can see, normally you can hear, normally you can. That's a normally senses are working, thoughts are coming. But it's okay. Why? No any inside paining or vibrations. Thoughts are happening. But you are like a like a like a feather, like a trees moving branches. The leaves are moving because no pain, like a wind, like a feather. That's the tranquility. Finally, like that. You know the truth? Satyajnana. This is the truth. So Krutanyana. Now you can experience. Yeah, no one is here. What is the Krutanyana is tranquility. That's a peaceful world is coming. So everybody in calm and cool because egoistic is gone. Egoistic is fading. No inside paining or inside vibrations because egoistic is fading. That's a tranquil. That's open your mind. That's a peaceful happiness is coming. Human life. So it is a reward to everybody. It's okay. Tomorrow we can explain other sides of this Buddha-Pada Dhamma discourses. How is why is valued? Why is it important? Why is humans won't know this Dhamma? So they want peaceful. They want happiness, endless happiness. This happen in this Buddha-Pada Dhamma discourses. You can hear, you can listen, you can experience. It's not believing. That's the true Dhamma. That's the way of Nibbana. True Dhamma has awakened to the moment. This present moment is only the moment. That present moment is everybody is in dream, but you awaken this dream, you are in not a blind, you are in the truth. That's the happiness in this world. No one to anything, any problems, any questions, no one to come in because you know the truth. Nobody's. It's very nice to understand, but not easy. It's okay. We can meet tomorrow. Everybody's everyone's sunlight. Thanks for this, Dr. Chandani and other Dhamma friends. Teruvan Sarnai, everybody. We can join tomorrow.
Terawan saranai Arana වහන්සේ.
හර්ෂ බොහොමතුගේ පාඨ.